All right, everybody. This here will be warning to all politicians. I'm running for president in 2024. Call this 84A because it'll be a short one here. Before I get started, though, I want to show you something I do out here on the road. Just kind of funny. Whenever we pick up a load and all this and everything, we got to fill out the bill of lading, and they always want a signature. Some of them want your name, some of them want your driver's license number. But we have to dot all, we have to do everything the way it's supposed to be done. If you go to deliver, a lot of these places, they know they got to sign the bills, and you need a legible signature, and they just scribble some crap on there. Or they put initials, or they put whatever, and you constantly got to, hey man, I got to punch this in the computer. I need to go back. And or you need to go back and ask, and you got to tell them, I got to punch this in the computer. Can you sign your name and all this stuff? So I'm extremely tired of that. Been having to do that for God knows how long. Explaining to them you need a signature, it's a legal document, blah blah blah, all that. So here's what I do. Sometimes I use other things, other names too, but this is the one. If you don't sign my bill of lading, that's the name you get. And if you don't know who that is, you got to look it up then, I guess, for yourself. Anyhow, let me get rid of the music here. So like I was saying with schools and stuff, do we really need all the brick and mortar buildings, the constant search for qualified teachers, etc.? Aren't we reaching the point to where we can have a lot of the lessons? I mean, because you send homework anyway, so what's the difference? What's the difference? Like even trucking companies, a lot of them, like the one I work for, you used to have to go from this room to that room, fill out this, watch this safety video, watch this, watch that. Now they just got a computer room. Everyone goes in, sits down at the computer, finds the paperwork they need to do, or the, if you want to call it a lesson they need to learn or whatever, a lot of new drivers and stuff. And it's all done on the computer. It's so much simpler, faster. You don't need to sit there and have somebody trying to explain stuff in a class and 50 different people asking 50 different questions. A lot of them have they interrupt, trying to tell some bullshit truck driving story and stuff about a lot of things. And so this is so much easier. So I don't know if it'd be better. You'd have to ask educators if you have grade school children, or wait until they reach, junior high or high school. Have a lot of these lessons done on the computer at home. Go to class like twice a week, or a system where you can, I don't know what this guy's doing up here. He's pissing in the parking lot or what the hell, you're getting dressed, whatever. Anyhow, seems to me, and plus you'd be saving all the busing, the cost with that, greenhouse gases, all those types of things. So like I said, with a lot of other things, we need to move in to the future. And the same thing, the hourly wages and all those types of things. Should a full-time 40-hour week be the standard now? What if it was 7-hour days? 35 hours makes a full week. You would definitely need to put more people in employment, and since they're talking about automation, sound like a English person saying aluminum. I can't even say how aluminum. Anyhow, aluminum, I think is how they say it. Anyhow, so there's a lot of things we need to be thinking ahead on, getting ahead of the curve, and making society easier and better, educating children better. There's no reason children in this country couldn't be taught 2 languages. We're moving more and more towards globalism, and until we come up with one standard language, the religion I study teaches that there should be a second auxiliary language. People argue over on how that should be, but the the prophets specified how that language should be structured and stuff. So until that's put into effect somehow, I don't think there'd be anything wrong with teaching children, hey, maybe it'll be a 3-language thing, because lots of children in this country already speak Spanish because they're of Hispanic descent, and then they learn English. Would you require them to learn a 3rd language? What if there's people of African descent who come here, they already have a 2nd language and English, so they would be learning a third language. But I think it would be a great benefit to people as they grow up if they had a 2nd language of choice, the parents' choice. Maybe you can make it so no, you can't count your native tongue if you moved here and English. You could have a 3rd one or whatever. These types of things. And like I say, all the changes I talk about, you can't pull the rug out from under people's feet in business and commerce and all this and everything, and put extreme burdens on expecting all types of benefits from business and all these types, because the cost is going to be passed on to you, the consumer, no matter what. So it's great to think, hey, everybody should be making X amount of dollars, and granted, if you live and work in New York City and everything, and you got to pay the taxes and everything there, and you're working at McDonald's on it's close to Wall Street where all these rich people stop at and everything, yeah, you should be making $20 an hour, but you can't do that all over the place. Somewhere the market and demand, etc., has to come into play. I mean, I lived in Lake Tahoe one time and everything, but once, and the cost of living there was sky high, and if you had a menial job like I did, cooking in a restaurant or whatever, you needed roommates. There was no doubt about it. In other places in the country, Aspen, you go to these vacation places, you just can't survive working a 40-hour, or even some of them are don't give as many hours, less hours, and trying to make it. Even if you're a couple, both of you working, it's very hard. So we need to look at these things, and we need to teach people, and we need to put things into effect, like I spoke about. Hey, let's get rid of cash someday. Everything will be just digital. You get paid. It's a direct deposit type thing. You'll have your savings, your checking. Then you'll have your medical expense account. You'll have your retirement. You'll have and your taxes. And it's all just divided up right there and then. 1% goes in here, 2% goes in there, whatever. And then you get your disposable cash and all your other cash in your checking and your savings, and you're free to do with what you want with that. But we can do things. Maybe have not free medical, because it's not free. But what about until the time of age of 18 or the time of 24? Your medical costs are covered. We have a system for that. I mean, because there's all kinds of things you got to iron out with medical and stuff. What's it going to pay for? Who makes the decisions? Do you give a person that's 80 years? Look at them now screaming, and I don't mean to. No one wants to lose anyone, but someone who's 80 years old dying of COVID, what's the what if it's somebody who needs a kidney transplant at that age or something? What's the cutoff? I mean, who makes these decisions? So there's a lot of things like that have to be worked out. But let's say instead of just trying to cover everybody for everything, we just start out. What if we just cover people, to the age of 18 or to the age of 24, and by then they need to have some kind of insurance, etc., worked out. And that's, like I say, why do we have to pay taxes our whole entire life as far as income taxes? I'm not talking capital gains and stuff like that, but on your wages and stuff. And what if we just did it for 40 years, from the age of 24 to 64, or from 18 to 58? I think if you gave people to the age of 24, they could go to college, they could set up their savings, investments, and all this and everything, prepare themselves for their future lives. I think that is a paramount thing to do, to give people, you know, and if you set something up like that, then you'll be driving home the point to young people coming up and in high school and stuff. Hey, these are the years. Yeah, you can go have fun here and there, but you got to keep your eye towards the future. You need to set yourself up for life, because life can be very unfair, and you need to take as many steps as you can to protect yourself from the things that can affect you. You know, a lot of people out there who ended up losing their homes and being homeless and stuff, who were hardworking people, weren't out running around wasting their money doing this, and just got bad economic times coming. Go back to the Great Depression and things like that. So the population needs to be better educated and prepared for these things. Corporations need to no more of this too big to fail stuff. They're going to have to sock away some of their money. These CEOs who make these big salaries are going to have to be held responsible for when they do corrupt things, like the last go round where they all got bailed out and got great big bonuses and people lost their homes. And then they tried to blame, well, those people shouldn't have had home loans anyway. And you're rightfully so. There might have been a lot of people who got loans who shouldn't have been qualified. But you know, and same thing. They need to move houses. They're going to sell. You know, if the economy's failing, and they can keep housing afloat by giving more loans. They'll do that, right or wrong. And then you know, it's the same thing. They want people to go out and buy newer homes. Next thing you know, there's an assessor comes through your neighborhood, and all of a sudden your house is worth way more. And then you get the idea, hey, we can sell this, take that equity, and we can buy a new, bigger home. And that way, then you have all these neighborhoods. Then you have somebody getting a loan that shouldn't have a loan buying your house, and then you have rundown neighborhoods, etc., abandoned homes, empty homes, homeless people, etc., etc. So definitely the politicians need to stop all their bullshit and pay attention to the details in this country and understand, we're tired of them playing politics and making decisions, and flapping their gums and not paying attention to the cause and effect of policies and things they do and what might look good for them right there and then to make sure they get reelected again 2-3 years down the road, sometimes even less. Maybe, it's all going to fall apart, and the people they sold that cheap bill of goods to are going to be left holding the bag. They got reelected. Woohoo, they're set. Caused economic hardship for a bunch of people. It looked good at first, but then, like a lot of things that look good on paper, it fell through. So if you think everything like a great big lake and you want to change and stuff, do you want to throw a great big boulder in there and cause all these ripples, or do you want to do things a little bit by little and let things settle out and see how the numbers work and see how it's affected life? That's my idea. Any changes and stuff like that, we'll do this, we'll do that, we'll let things settle, take a look at it, see if it needs to be tweaked a little more. Look at the numbers, instead of just, hey, we're gonna overwhelm, hey, medical for everybody. No, let's look into what if we just make sure children and adolescents and stuff have a good medical care, and are also taught about taking care of themselves and health and all this. Excuse me. And also teaching them financially and stuff, and that hey, by the age of 24 you better be pretty well situated to face the rest of your life. Yes, we do need social safety nets for certain things, but that can't be your only thing to fall back on. You have to teach self-responsibility, independence, and not just the government and everyone else is going to be there. You made bad decisions, you ran around getting thrown in and out of jail, doing drugs, all this and everything. Now you're middle-aged, whatever, can't get a job or a decent job, and you know, when it comes, you know, time to retire, you know, you're not going to have anything. I don't know how that works with Social Security if you become a felon and this and that. If you even get Social Security, you know. But there's plenty of elderly people just barely scraping by. Rents keep going up, etc. You know, you name it. There's a lot of things they're not paying attention to. You know, anything. It's only, you know, oh, COVID, we got to fight each other. Oh, COVID. Oh, a foreign policy decision. Trump's a friend of Putin. No, he's not. He's going to get us in war with Putin. Oh, he went over. He talked to such and such in Korea. Oh, he's too soft. Oh, he goes, and then he threatens. You know, hey, you attack us, you're going to get effed up. Oh, he's going to cause world war, this and that and everything. I mean, and then, oh, look, it's time for our August break. Oh, it's time for our winter break. Nothing's done, nothing's solved. They all spend plenty of time in front of the cameras blaming each other. You know, well, we could pass this if it wasn't for this and that, and you know, the other group, and it goes on and on and on. Doesn't matter who's in power, if it's Democrat or Republican, whatever. And you know, I think Trump's a let's get it done type of guy, and all the politics they're playing around are holding a lot of things up that could be done good for the people of this country, putting people back to work. You know, and who knows, maybe he's got a lot of ideas on these things too about, you know, wages and school and how to fund this or that, and maybe we can take these steps here instead of, you know, going overboard with, hey, yeah, everyone should have free medical. It sounds great. That really, but you're not crunching the numbers. You're not anything talking about, you know, it's like Obamacare. Oh, don't read it, just sign it. Excuse me? And that's what you socialist type people, that's what you're, the type of government, that's all you're ever going to hear is, don't object, sign it, go with the program. That's it. They want to make you a bunch of, you know, hear about the aliens, the grays, no gender. They don't have no gender. They don't have no skin color. They're all the same. They all just meander around doing like they're told. That's what they don't want any difference in people at all. You're all gonna be sexless, mindless, thumbless, colorless, bland, little gnomes walking around. That's the way I look at it anyway. I think culture and difference in people is a good thing. It'd be pretty boring if we were all exactly the same. And you know, I believe in traditional values, marriage, man and woman, you know, tired of having all this other crap forced down our throats by so quote unquote college professors and intellectuals and all this extreme and these extreme homosexual groups are so full of hate towards normal regular society. And I guarantee a lot of them people in Seattle and Portland and everything up there are in San Francisco, wherever you go, are all for, you know, this what's going on in the protests, because they a lot of them are so full of hate towards normal society. They hate you for not accepting them and their lifestyles, you know, and so they'll lash out any way they can. Speaking of COVID and all this and everything, do you remember Legionnaire's disease? I wonder if this is any kind of the same strain of Legionnaire's disease, where if you know, there was like anywhere there was groups of people and stuff, and I think I remember that some kind of spore that was in ventilation systems and stuff and everything. I forget what it was, but it seems to me that was one of the last big things. And then the Hunta virus was big there. If you traveled out west and stuff, you had to be careful. Then AIDS, for all those who were living promiscuous lives, they had to knock off their shit. A lot of them didn't and died from it. still are. So, anyhow, there's a lot of things we can do in this country and work on problems without going to extremes and if you don't get your way, you're going to go burn down crap in the streets and call yourself a protester.
Message has arrived.
So, just wanted to go over those things, and I think it's some other things like Social Security and stuff, and retirement and things like that. There's things I made previous videos. Maybe I'll go back over that. But you get the idea of where I'm coming from. That we can make adjustments to things and how we do stuff, and maybe make the whole system better, even if it's gradually, and do it so we're not alarming people or pulling the rug out from underneath people or demonizing people, like business and stuff. Oh, they're rich. Hey, we've all had jobs where we thought were pretty shitty, and it was unfair, the amount of work we were doing for what we were getting paid, etc. And the great thing about America is you can quit and go find another job, and that ain't always easy. But if we bring the jobs back, if we straighten out things south of the border, and this whole system that's been put into place for cheap labor south of the border, and for Mexico getting rid of its poor, sending it up here, that'll be a big part of the equation of making life better for people here in this country. So wish all the best out there. God bless. Adios.